Looking back on life, I have to really look at my work and really study and think about what I was doing. And now that I reflect back on it, half of the work that I was doing was not about me. It was pretty much about you and whoever that you are or you is. Because the paintings that I was doing, I hadn't really went through those moods or those swings or whatever that is. I couldn't have been no more than my middle 20s. I hadn't been through life. I didn't even know what life was. I was just coming out of being a teenager. And I started to do these paintings. You know, sometimes I'm alone without you, on my way out, constant questions, the turning point, solitude, the mind of the modern man. All of these things I hadn't really experienced yet. So as I was growing up and traveling, these paintings would come to me because I was looking at the people. And I was able to go now, at this part of my life, when I reflect back, I was able to go where most men can't. I was able to go where the falcons fly, and the hawks fly, and the eagles fly. I was able to take a backpack, a plane ticket, a train ticket, a bus to go around the Americas. And now that I look at it and I think about the anger that kind of came over me recently, and the frustration was I start living the life of trying to be an artist. And I took on all of the problems of an artist as opposed to being a creator. When I was a creator, everything just came to me. It was peaceful, it was beautiful because I was creating. The moment I stopped creating and told the world that I was an artist, that's when I adapted all the problems of an artist. So I would say to you this: I was trying to make sales, and now that I look at it, the moment you look at my work, you bought it. The moment that you remembered it, you took it home with you. The moment you smiled, you loved it, and it had no price to it. So when I put price to all of those components, that's when it stopped working for me. So as I sit in my studio now, and it's simplified, I didn't need all of those objects to be me. So I would say to you, when you look at my work, it brings out the best in you, and that's whoever you are. I've walked with everybody. I've stood side by side, ate lunch, had cocktails, went to parties with everybody, and I laughed. And it was free. It didn't cost me to laugh because it was on their ticket. It wasn't on my ticket. I didn't have enough money to go out with some of these guys or these girls or these people. And I look at the fact that the work touched all religions. It was priceless. And then I had to sit back and think about it. I affected all colors. So I figured if people of color, and it's a racial barrier, I became colorless. So I figured to learn all color, you must become colorless. You must become a spirit. And the moment that I put a price on my spirit, it stopped working. So now that I'm in my hometown, there's so much violence, there's so much stress, there's so much hurt, there's so much vanity, there's so much trying to be, there's so much just not realness about it. I could look at it now and be like, wow, there's the people were not even taking time to even breathe for like 1 hour. They're just on a fast track of approval, on a fast track of trying to keep up. And my work, for some strange reason, caught them for a second. They said, "Whoa, that's nice." And I thought that was cool because I was trying to be an artist. And as an artist, that will give you uh, bragging rights, that will give you an ego, that will give you that sense of pride, like I'm the man. That had nothing to do with that. And once I started to take on that lifestyle, it stopped working. It became stressful. It became it became not Rodney Wade. So And this short tape, um, I'm excited to reflect back on Rodney Wade, how I did it. You know, how many people that I know that are no longer here, they're no longer free to move around, they're no longer happy. And I felt like in life you could choose your happiness. And I didn't know that people couldn't choose their happiness, whether they were in a scenario where they were in a bad a bad decision, a bad marriage, a bad job, a bad lifestyle, or just a just they just I didn't know because I was I was unknowing of it. I had paid no attention to it. I guess I had blinders on. So when I look around now, I'm so happy right now that I am free to do what I want to do because I didn't acquire all of the things that would put me in a box that I had to perform in. And at one point in my life, I became an artist and I had to perform as an artist. And it was a terrible experience. And I no longer wanted to be an artist of that level. I just want to be a creator because everything else will come to me because it always has. And I would say to different visual artists, just be. You ain't got to try to be anything, just be. Whatever you are, however you get down, whatever you want to do, just do it. And there's no judgment in it. Just, do it. The people will gravitate towards your work. And then you'll know what you are. Don't try to be what you are. You don't know who you are. I'm in my middle 40s, close to late 40s. And it took me 40 something years to figure it out. And now that I've figured it out, and I look back on my work, and I look back at every painting sold, I've never understood that until I came home and walked in studios and saw artists with works everywhere. And I couldn't imagine how they was able to collect that much of their own work. Everything that I touched has sold for $30 to thousands of dollars. And I guess I got to a point where I was ungrateful to God because I didn't understand what type of blessing He put on my life until I got home. So now when I look at it, I'm like, man, you've done all right. And then I look at my city and I'm like, I really want to leave, but I can't leave because it's necessary for me to be here for the kids, for that lady that is a single mom, for that dude that just got fired, he can't take care of his family, for that guy that's taking care of his family, for that lady that's a great mother, you know, for that kid that graduated, for those girls at the Olympics over the weekend. I'm necessary for these type of things, and I'm a part of that. And I just found a way. And let's just think about your greatest moment, and and the best time you ever had, like the best, everything. If you could freeze that, right? I was able to do that. I was able to take everything and then freeze it in a painting. Once I figured out I can do that whenever I feel like it, and it can affect the world, then I realized how big I was. So there's no competition. There's no this. There's no that. Through this work, I was able to make love to a beautiful woman at an early age, and I didn't understand it because I thought that everybody just do that. Once I figured out that they didn't experience that by watching some of these movies, I realized that they wasn't making love to me. They was making love to the work I was doing. Once I figured out you could hang out with a notorious guy, I didn't know you couldn't hang out with a notorious guy. But the notorious guy was hanging out with the artwork. So the artwork exposed me to so many different things that I had to really sit back and look at the artwork and go, man, we've been a long way. And I started trying to find outside peace of mind, outside friends, outside this, outside that. When really the only thing that was a friend of mine that never has let me down was the artwork. So now that I've returned to the artwork, breathing is a little bit easier. But the artwork is not really about me, it's about you. As long as I can do it and you guys love it, then it's cool. So that that hopefully, in life you can Find yourself inside my work. Find that peace. Find that inner you. Find out your own spirituality. Find out your own way. And then just find out that it's possible. It took me 40 something years to say this to you guys because I thought it was like not the thing to say. But I feel like as an artist or as a creator, the moment that you become real with yourself will become real with you. And that's a beautiful thing.